a league goal, his only league goal of this campaign at West Ham, start of December. Mopé. Welbeck, Trossard. Lindelof did well to get his body between man and ball.
That's the difference, really, that Brighton have had to make in terms of turning draws into victories, Peter. That movement, the way they're able to just knock it about with one-touch passing, one- and two-touch passing, and when they quicken it up front like that, then it makes them a much more dangerous outfit.
Moda, Basuma, White, Gross, Lallana.
Well, they're beginning to feel now, Brighton, as if they're getting themselves into the game.
Wan-Bissaka. Game which historically offers them almost nothing. Pascal Gross. Brighton have never won a game on this ground. Aimed in towards Welbeck! Second time, yes! The Manchester United title winner has come back to Old Trafford and snatched a shock lead for Brighton.
Well, I think that qualifies as getting yourself into the game. I mean, he's attacked the ball brilliantly when maybe one or two Manchester United defenders were a little statuesque. And United, having won it, lost it again immediately. But the ball in is absolutely delicious. It really is. That's superb. And it's crying out for a centre-forward to get on it. Henderson has done very well to actually just block the first effort. And it just came back perfectly for Welbeck, and he couldn't miss the second. Yeah, fine goalkeeping, but that's what they tell strikers. Look for the next one if it doesn't go in first time round.
Well, Danny Welbeck scores for the second consecutive Premier League game. He scores against Manchester United for the third time, and he becomes actually the first former Manchester United player to get 3 goals against them after leaving them. And having got his first 2 for Arsenal, he joins a very select number who have scored twice against Manchester United as a former player for 2 different clubs. Keith Gillespie did it for Blackburn and Sheffield United, Paul Ince for Liverpool and Middlesbrough, Fraser Campbell for Sunderland and Cardiff, and now Danny Welbeck in the Premier League era for Arsenal and Brighton.
Yeah, and just a quick reminder as well that Manchester United have won a Premier League high 22 points from losing positions.
Many of those, of course, away from home, not necessarily in front of the glare of the god, who still looks down from his perch, this time somewhat discontentedly. Brighton, say again, have never, ever, in any competition at any time, in any era, they have never won on this ground. They lead on this ground. Rashford. Has he got himself a corner? He has. Cavani a natural target. Sanchez with organising to do. Sure to deliver. Beyond Cavani, out by Basuma. Lindelof. Pogba. That's a good tackle from Lallana. Trossard. Held up by Fred. Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka, Greenwood, that's tidy. Rashford's just regathering himself. Greenwood is going himself. Wan-Bissaka. Rashford hadn't quite recovered his poise.
No, just seemed to want to kind of get rid of it again, just to enable him to fully recover. Ball was played. The ball was played by Adam Lallana.
And Rashford was quite happy to pump fists in acknowledgement of that. There was no sense in which he was feeling sorry for himself or demanding a free kick. Sanchez has his own happy memories of this ground, actually. He was Rochdale's goalkeeper here in a League Cup tie in September of 2019 on loan. He conceded just once in that game. Rochdale were absolutely magnificent. The goal he conceded was to the man who's already hit his post, Mason Greenwood. And in the end, Rochdale went out on penalties, but he had an heroic night. Welbeck's career as a Manchester United player is well written. He started Alex Ferguson's last game at Old Trafford, a 2-1 win against Swansea back in 2013. 29 goals in 142 games for United over 7 years. Now he has afforded Brighton a lead here, a lead to which they seek potentially now to add. And Pascal Gross over a free kick. Flung in by Gross. It's another good header. Henderson had to get up high and help it over from Lewis Dunk.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dunk is hugely effective, isn't he, at either end? I mean, he's already dealt with a couple of Manchester United free kicks and getting ahead to them. And there he is again at the opposite end, maintaining a presence.
He's got a scoring record against and for United as well. 1 goal and 2 own goals in games against United, Lewis Dunk. Gross once more. Henderson was struggling in a very congested 6-yard box. Fernandes hooked it out. Greenwood's the chaser. He's won the chase, but he's well reached by Leandro Trossard. And now here's Moda. Trossard. Lallana. Flicked up into the path of Mopé, but Maguire was strong enough.
Yeah, it's always a difficult one to pull off when you're trying to knock it over a deeper defence. And I think on the corner, Peter, they were deliberately trying to, without fouling, to make it really tough for Henderson to come and get it. And he was aggressive enough.
Saka. Fernandes. Pogba. Subject of Henderson and United's defence. It should be noted that the goal they've just conceded comes at the end of a very long spell of impenetrability. There's Shaw, away by Lallana, pursued by Mopé. Shaw's foul. It had just gone past 7 hours playing time in the Premier League since United had conceded a goal. And Welbeck broke through here. They had been seeking their 5th straight Premier League clean sheet since Alain Saint-Maximin equalised for Newcastle here on the 21st of February. 6 weeks ago.
And I mean, Manchester United came out of the traps quite quickly in this game, Peter, but you know, just look at Brighton now, the way they've responded strongly, and we felt they'd come here and play their usual game. I mean, they don't compromise with their style of play, and the goals have been coming more easily.
Pogba, Fernandes. United had started the game really brightly. Fred, Maguire, Lindelof, Fernandes, Pogba. Oh, it's sweet. Greenwood's onto it. Cavani can pursue it.
Yeah, Veltman anticipated that well. But there's no point in just holding his wider position. He had to go and see where the danger might be, and he got there.
Ben White has been a hit for Brighton, as most anticipated he would. Certainly Leeds folk, who so covet him after his terrific promotion-winning loan season across the Pennines and Allen Road last year. Rashford, Fernandes, Shaw, too much for Cavani.
Yeah, who claimed he was bumped before he even had a chance to jump.
Stolen by Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes, Cavani. Trossard did very well to escape Fred. Gross.
Fernandes down this time, similarly to Rashford earlier on, but the referee is showing no sympathy.
He's back up and moving, but not smoothly.
Yeah, and it was Basuma contact. Good football.
Modder.
Yeah, good football.
Welbeck. Modder. Lindelof had to keep a beady eye on him. Much of Brighton's really good football this season has been played away from home. 5 of their 7 wins have come on their travels. Actually, they've never dropped into the bottom 3, even during a really testing 9-game winless spell between the end of November and mid-January. They had a rotten Christmas and New Year, but the last 11 games have brought 5 wins, 3 draws. Hope. Trossard. Pogba. Nicely set by Greenwood. Forward again by Fernandes. Greenwood couldn't take it with him. Lallana looks to prompt Trossard. Lallana again. Wanted it back from Welbeck. It was a purposeful, very clever little jinking run, that, from Adam Lallana.
Was, yeah. Well, I mean, I think he's obviously over the years now educated himself in the need to be very, very quick with your footwork. But I mean, he was quite skillful in the way he weaved through them.
Trossard. Welbeck will let that roll.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka unfortunate enough to be in that long queue of English right full-backs, which makes it hard to break through.
Yeah. And just watch how busy that 6-yard box is going to be.
They're not letting Henderson settle. And Mope, this Dunkel occupying his space. Pascal Gross to land this under the crossbar. In by Gross, and Henderson has dropped it and got away with it. Clear by Greenwood, gathered by Rashford. Cavani is darting through the middle. Rashford has seen Fernandes. It's a beautiful balletic take. Wan-Bissaka. Fred. Fernandes, harmlessly.
Yeah, not like him. But Henderson is now obviously the focus, and that is a spillage. I mean, he's under no pressure. There's no contact, and he has made a mistake there and gotten away with it.
Well, the scrutiny with which a Manchester United goalkeeper has to deal is no secret. There have been plenty of them through the years who've dealt with it, of course, splendidly, but also one or two who have found it just a bit too much. That's part of the test. That's what comes with the territory. And for the most part up to now, he has dealt with it very well. Dealing also, of course, with the knowledge of David De Gea still over his shoulder.
But it's happened. It seems to have happened that there's been a transfer. Because without any hullabaloo. You know, De Gea's out, Henderson is occupying the #1 spot.
7 games in a row now in all competitions.
Yeah.
That's not rotation, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Pogba.
If De Gea had been removed after a big game where he had made a mistake or whatever, then it would have been sensationalised. It would have been a huge story, but it's happened without the story, really.
Henderson has kept 3 Premier League clean sheets in 5 games prior to this. Danny Welbeck has muddied today's sheet. Fernandes nicked from behind by Veltman.
Yeah, Veltman has looked a better player at the left side of a 3 centre-back defence than he has as a right-back or a right wing-back. Good, very good at what they do, Brighton. This is a big test now for the home side.
Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof. Hopeful for reinforcement from Pogba.
Yeah, and whereas I mentioned, the front 3 from Brighton were a little high up the pitch when they were defending earlier in the game, they're now all getting back.
Good win by Fred. Strength 2 from Rashford. Clattered out by Dunk. Held by Mope. Nicked into the path of Trossard. Greenwood, Fernandes. Shaw with no path past Gross. Bissouma. Mope, there's an awful lot of space here ahead of Jakob Moder. Murray Wan-Bissaka. Saka did well. Fred's on his way again, and Cavani's on his way, and Rashford's alongside. But Cavani's pass was rather clubbed.
Yeah, it needed to be measured.
Rashford. Fernandes. Veltman clear. Not a clear. Past the half-hour mark, and Brighton, who established their lead just before the quarter-hour mark, preserved that lead, and truth be told, relatively comfortably. As mentioned, most of their points have been accrued on the road. Most of Manchester United's lost points have been dropped right here. 4 Premier League defeats, all at Old Trafford, behind at Old Trafford again. Bruno Fernandes. Not all of those defeats are the ones you would expect. Palace's win here, Spurs' ridiculous romp here. Arsenal narrowly, and of course most recently Sheffield United glaringly.
Yeah, it was a poor start to the season from Manchester United, and all 4 defeats at home.
But that Sheffield United aberration is their only Premier League defeat in the last 23. No question the direction of travel has been the right direction.
There's a wonderful composure about what the team in blue are doing at the moment, and just trying to make the pitch as big as possible. They're trying to really keep the width in play and move Manchester United back and forth.
Sosa's offside. He's had a good week, scored goals number 3 and 7 of the 8 that Belgium got against Belarus. He was involved 2 against Wales and the Czech Republic. And you don't get Belgian caps cheaply in the current era. The best team in the world, according to the numbers, and he's a part of it. Fernandes. Rashford. Fernandes has got his angles wrong.
Well, I think there's a little anxiety there. We saw him, knock one really high and out of play early on when he was trying to cross it, and that was another poor one. And I mean, as for the goal again, it's just, Wan-Bissaka thinks that it's going to be dealt with by Lindelof, and Lindelof can't get there. And Wan-Bissaka's slow in moving. Wan-Bissaka should be staying with Danny Welbeck, and he afforded him the opportunity. And the second one, he afforded himself. Yeah, look at Maupay in that position now, trying to keep his striking role as wide as possible on the right-hand side so he can deal with Shaw defensively.
Greenwood. Wan-Bissaka with pace. Bissouma stationed exactly where he needed to be. Pogba. Maguire. Rashford. Given too easily back by Modder. Greenwood. Pogba. Looped up towards Rashford. Sanchez with a more than audible cry.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, every defender would love to hear, because he can see the whole picture, and he needs to communicate, and he's done the right thing.
Spent much of the last fortnight sitting next to David De Gea, or as close as the regulations permit him. The two of them on the bench for Spain in all three of their international games. Here's Welbeck. De Gea's ball in, Mopé's little step over.
Yeah, nice idea, but Lallana wasn't reading it.
Yeah, the Spanish goalkeeper right now, number one choice, is Athletic Bilbao's Unai Simon, who played all three. Like Germany, unlike Germany, because they got away with it, but Germany, of course, having lost to North Macedonia. Spain had a terrible scare against Georgia, just got away with it. Here's Rashford. And now Fernandes. And then Pogba. Never quite settled over it.
No, but importantly, Welbeck had to maintain the pressure on Pogba, and he does that. He makes him rush it a little bit. But I don't think Fernandes was expecting this to break as kindly as it did for him, and he had time to pick Pogba out. Yeah, he was just hurried by the movement of Welbeck.
Trossard. There's a certain wiry strength. He's not a big or muscular individual by any means, Leandro Trossard, but he's slippery and was in danger of escaping Fred.
Meek doesn't do in the Premier League. It doesn't work in England. You've got to have some aggression, and you've got to be prepared for the physical side of things.
Lallana. Lallana, when last on this ground, came on for Liverpool and scored at his expense. A very important equaliser, October of last season. That equaliser came after 85 minutes. A few years back he scored one here for Southampton after 89. He's not to win a corner here, over which again is Pascal Gross.
Yeah, and the 6-yard box not as congested now. This is going to be an outswinger.
Gross delivers. Dunk was rising. Nicked out for Fred, who's leaving it wide for Greenwood. Greenwood saw Fernandes, who went in bullishly on Adam Lallana.
Yeah, he's a happy man, very happy man with the way things are going at the moment. Bruno Fernandes is a very frustrated figure out there.
Lallana's good to go. You hear managers talk week after week, year after year about never too high, never too low, but nobody seems to live that quite as accurately as Graham Potter. What an incredibly measured guy he is in the great moments and indeed the cruel ones. Not the least of which was, of course, Manchester United's 100th minute winner at Brighton, which he seemed to swallow without grumpiness or drama. When Crystal Palace, their great rivals, got a deep stoppage time winner against all logic a few weeks back, he just sucked it up and got on with it.
Well, I mean, I think some have claimed that yeah,
tug back.
That is his team, Potter's team, reflect his disposition in that he's a little too polite. He's like a gentleman, and he doesn't have the aggression himself. But that's not quite the case. Yeah,
Pascal Gross yellow carded for that.
Yeah, I thought he was a former Tottenham manager earlier on, but
not Christian. Here's Lindelof. Ball from Pogba, in by Wan-Bissaka. Here's Greenwood twisting. Oh, robbed by Lallana. Welbeck, Trossard, Mopé. Trossard's gone beyond him. Gross. Trossard, face to face with Maguire. Lallana, just too sharp for Pascal Gross.
It was a lovely ball on the last United attack from Pogba to find Wan-Bissaka. More like it.
Lindelof. Fred. Pogba. Strides Dunk.
Yeah, and because the front three are deeper now, he had no outlet then, Dunk. So they're just trying to hold on to it. And they have. Well, for a short time anyway.
Right, with a view of half-time now. And with a lead potentially to carry in. A lead which, should they preserve it, would make club history. 7 previous league visits here, just 1 point. Through for Modder. Might be for Veltman. Here's Trossard. Joined by Lallana. What a sprightly run that is. And in goes Mopé. Across comes Maguire. Now Pascal Gross against Shaw. And it spins away for a Brighton throw.
Oh, it's a beautiful little pass from Trossard to pick out the run from Lallana. And I just wonder whether he'd go through himself by just dinking it over. But I think he was actually looking for Mopé all along. And yeah, I think more threatening.
Gross still behind for a corner as we go into 2 minutes of stoppage time. Almighty pace. Something to cling to, perhaps here, something to add to. Stretford End, Old Trafford. By Pascal Gross. Modder! A score at Wembley and Old Trafford in the same week. Wouldn't be a bad double.
Yeah, well, he came onto it really nicely with just a little break, but Marcus Rashford, fortunately for Manchester United, stayed close enough, and it's just glanced off a United leg.
Rose again with the delivery, Cavani with the clearing header. Bissouma's last man back for Brighton. Veltman. Trossard. Here by Maguire, chased up by Lallana. Hit early by Fernandez. Read with poise by Lewis Dunk.
It's easier to say it, and it's going to be tough for Manchester United to do it, but they've got to maintain the tempo. They've got to keep it high in the second half if things don't change before the whistle goes, and they've got to be much more persistent. They've got to probe harder.
Well, the Seagulls have found their wings on a ground where Brighton and Hove Albion have never won. They lead, and their scorer, one Danny Welbeck, once a man who lifted the Premier League trophy on this ground in Manchester United red. It's quite a tale. Mason Greenwood hit the Brighton post. Nothing besides that for United, who trail at the break at Old Trafford against all odds. They trail Brighton by Danny Welbeck's goal to nil.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows his side have already lost 4 times in the Premier League at Old Trafford this season, and they trail Brighton at the break in this one.